Hey, Commanders fans, get ready, because today we have exclusive news about our team, and you can't miss a single detail. So go ahead and subscribe to the channel, activate the bell to receive everything firsthand, and of course, leave a like to strengthen our fan base and show that we only have true fans here. Our commitment is to always bring you the latest updates, news, and everything that happens behind the scenes of Commanders. So without further ado, let's check out today's news.
The talented rising star of the Commanders is poised to explode while the league ignores what's happening around him. It wasn't all doom and gloom. Most of the Washington Commanders players who had everything to shine this year didn't live up to expectations. But there's one player who has been quietly standing out for some time and who may be about to have a truly exceptional season. He wasn't on anyone's list before the season. In fact, one of his younger teammates was the one receiving most of the attention. Now, with 6 games left for Washington to try and salvage some positive points from the season, it seems the situation has reversed. Chris Rodriguez Jr. may be ready to take command of the Commanders' offense. This was supposed to be Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt's year. The rookie, selected in the 7th round of the draft, impressed everyone during training camp in the preseason. His rise was the main reason why general manager Adam Peters traded the previous year's starter, Brian Robinson Jr., to the San Francisco 49ers before the start of the season. Chris Rodriguez Jr., in his 3rd year in the league, has been seen as a clone of Robinson. Strong, but not explosive. Cliff Kingsbury seems to prefer running backs who can make lightning-fast cuts, dribble past defenders, and create big plays. The Kentucky graduate has been seen more as a direct power running back. Krosky-Merritt began the year as backup to veteran Austin Ekeler, with the reliable and versatile veteran Jeremy McNichols completing the running back group. Rodriguez was practically discarded, sitting out the initial games by tactical decision. This has been Rodriguez's situation since he arrived in the 6th round of the 2023 draft. He was demoted from the practice squad to the main roster, and that seemed to be his destiny at the beginning of 2025. But Rodriguez has proven to be very resilient. Ekeler was injured early this season. Krosky-Merritt started well, but then lost momentum. McNichols remained a versatile and consistent player, but was never seen as a high-volume runner. Shortly after Ekeler's injury, Rodriguez started a few games and performed relatively well. He was particularly efficient in the Week 4 loss to the Atlanta Falcons, gaining 59 rushing yards on just 7 attempts. By this point, the coaching staff seemed completely enamored with Krosky-Merritt. The 3rd-year player had only 9 rushing attempts in the following 4 weeks, usually at crucial moments in the game. However, when Krosky-Merritt struggled, Rodriguez got another chance. Over the past 3 weeks, he has accumulated 33 carries and gained 160 rushing yards, averaging 4.8 yards per carry. He has also scored 2 touchdowns.
Washington Commanders receive advice to make crucial decision regarding Deebo Samuel's future, now approaching free agency. Last preseason, the Washington Commanders surprised the NFL with a bold move, acquiring Deebo Samuel in a direct trade with the San Francisco 49ers. The idea was clear: to add an explosive playmaker to the offense, capable of changing games both as a wide receiver and as a running back, exactly the type of player that fits Cliff Kingsbury's aggressive style. And, individually, Samuel lived up to expectations. Whenever he was on the field, he showed the versatility that made him a star in the league. The problem is that the rest of the offensive roster couldn't keep up. Injuries deeply affected the key players around him, preventing the original plan, a dynamic offense with Samuel, Terry McLaurin, Zach Ertz, and quarterback Jaden Daniels, from being put into practice. Washington knew from the moment of the trade that Samuel was entering the final season of his inherited contract with the 49ers. But the expectation was that this would be a campaign to consolidate a new offensive core. With injuries and team inconsistency, the reality turned out to be different. Now the franchise faces a crucial decision: what to do with Deebo Samuel. Renew the wide receiver's contract and try to rebuild the offense around him, or accept that the season was lost, avoid a major investment, and pursue another path. Christopher Knox, analyst for Bleacher Report, believes the answer is clear. Washington should keep Samuel. Samuel has proven to be a valuable piece for the Kingsbury offense. Even without repeating the Pro Bowl numbers that made him stand out in 2021, he already has 522 total yards and 6 touchdowns, contributing as a receiver and a running back. Injuries around him have prevented Washington from executing its full offensive plan this season. The Commanders should extend Samuel's contract as soon as possible and bet on the continuity of the scheme, hoping that his health situation improves in 2026. This analysis makes sense, especially considering the future of other veterans on the roster. Zach Ertz, for example, is nearing possible retirement, which makes preserving reliable offensive pieces even more important. If Samuel and McLaurin are healthy in 2026 and Jaden Daniels develops within the system, Washington will be able to present a much more competitive offense. The Commanders are turning their attention to Jaden Daniels' future health. The Washington Commanders are in a difficult situation, as is their quarterback, Jaden Daniels. Daniels has faced several injuries this season, missing numerous games in what should have been his breakout year. With playoff chances hanging by a thread, the focus has shifted from chasing wins to protecting the franchise's starting quarterback in the long term. Kingsbury talks about clever play and self-preservation. Daniels has been ruled out for Sunday's game against the Denver Broncos as he needs more time to be ready to play. Daniels' athleticism and willingness to create plays outside the pocket are largely responsible for making him dangerous, but also expose him to serious injuries. After suffering a knee sprain, hamstring strain, and a thigh injury earlier this season, in addition to a dislocated elbow, the Commanders know they can't afford to keep losing their most important player to avoidable hits. Offensive coordinator Cliff Kingsbury addressed the issue directly this week when asked about how to design plays to protect Daniels. Quote, "We can talk all we want about it, but when he's out there, he needs to understand that he's carrying the entire organization with him at all times. And as a precaution, if there's an impact that could affect his body, he needs to understand when the party's over and know when to protect himself." Unquote. At some point, Daniels needs to balance competitiveness with longevity. Washington can adjust the scheme, limit planned runs, and rely more on short passes, but the quarterback needs to develop the awareness of when a play is no longer worth the risk. Daniels has participated in only 5 games this season, throwing for 1,184 yards, 8 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions, in addition to demonstrating mobility that alters the structure of opposing defenses. But his style comes at a price, and the Commanders are feeling that price more than ever. The priority is Daniels' future. Washington